And Beijing is feeling the heat once again on Uyghur Muslims. 43 nations have come together to slam the communist regime's handling of Uyghurs in the Xinjiang region. China has been urged to ensure full respect for the rule of law. The United States, European countries and Asian states signed a joint agreement.
The US is imposing new situation on the several Chinese biotech and the surveillance the companies and the government the intellects of the human rights abuse the Uyghur Muslims in the Xinjiang region of China. Xinjiang is technically an autonomous region within China. It is the largest region in minerals and the sharing borders with the countries like the India, Russia, Mongolia and Afghanistan. Key points of this topic: US certification. The US Commerce Department is targeting China's Academy Military of Medical Science, and it is the 11th search of a institute that the focus on using biotechnology to support the Chinese military. The US territory is a department of also to get issue intelligence against several the Chinese entities. The move will be bar the American companies from the selling compound to the intelligence the video without a license. The US administration supported the bipartisan legislation that the bans imported into the US from Xinjiang unless the companies can be demonstrate the goods were not the provided by the forced labor. Earlier, in 2020, the United States of a representative approved a legislation calling for the sanctions on Chinese officially responsible for the oppression of Uyghur Muslims. The bill calls the situation against the responsible for the repression of Uyghur and the other Muslim groups in China's Xinjiang provinces. The bill also calls the US companies or individuals the operating in the Xinjiang region to take steps to the ensure their the product do not the included parts using the forced labor of Uyghur. Declaration of Uyghur Muslims. Recently, 43 countries have signed a declaration calling on China to ensure the full respect of a in Uyghur community. The declaration was signed by the US and other countries accusing the China of a human rights violation and the ethnic cleansing against the Uyghur Muslims. Similar declaration in 2019 and 2020 connoted the China's it is the politics in Xinjiang where United States has accused Beijing of carrying out the genocide. It is the call of access to Xinjiang for the independence observer included the UN High Commissioner for the Human Rights. It is noted to the extensions of a large network of a political re-education camps in Xinjiang. However, China claims the camps to be the educational centers where the Uyghur are being the couriered of extreme thoughts and the radiation of the learning quality of skills. China stands. China claims the Uyghur groups that the established an independent state, and because the Uyghur culture cities their neighbors later feel that the elements in a face likes Pakistan may be back to a separate movement in a Xinjiang. China has the dissented any abuses of the says that step it is the take hand the necessary to combat the terrorism and the separate movement. India stands. The government has the maintained the near silence on Uyghur crises. Uyghur Muslim about or this the Uyghur Muslim. The Uyghur is a predominantly the Muslim minority of a Turkey ethnic group whose the origins can be the tracked to the Central and East Asia. The Uyghur speaks their own language similar to Turkish and see themselves the culturally and ethically close to a Central Asian nation. The Uyghur are the considered to the and of 55 officially recognized the ethnic to the minority of a community in China. However, China recognizes the community only as a regional minority and reject that there are an indigenous group. Currently, the largest population of the Uyghur ethnic the community lives in the Xinjiang region of China. A significant of a population of a Uyghur also lives in the neighboring the Central Asia. There is the country as the Uzbekistan, Kyrgyzstan and Kazakhstan. Xinjiang is technically as the Ottomans region with the China, the largest region rich in minerals, and the sharing borders with the 8 countries, including India, Pakistan, Russia, and Afghanistan. The persecution of Uyghurs, the introduction of a majority and the Chinese over the past few decades as the economy propagated has come to the Xinjiang. It has the brought within a large number of the majority Han Chinas. They have did the consider better jobs and left the Uyghur feeling their livelihoods and
Beyond
identity
is now
were the
available
under
in
the
your
threat.
country. Download the
This is
app
the
now.
lead of a
Get all the
security violence in 2009, claiming the right of killed 200 people, the mostly Han the Chinese in the region of a capital. Suppression by the state. Uyghur Muslim folk decided to have the separate from the abusive, including systematic effort to suppress the Uyghur. US intelligence has established that the China has set up a high technology surveillance the system across the Xinjiang that was the biometric facial recognition, and it is the collected of a DNA samples for all residents age 12 to 65 in Xinjiang as a part of a systemic effort to suppress the Uyghurs. China is choosing of US this technology to purpose the control over its people, and it is respectation of members of ethnic and religion minority groups. What is the way forward of this topic? The all country all the should consider the position of Uyghur China to immediately stop the prejudice of a Muslim and the popularization of Islam in Xinjiang. It should adopt the multiplication and accept the Uyghurs and the other Turkish the Muslim of China as an ordinary citizen equal to negative Chinese. Thank you.